Yes.
What do they do?
Well, two of them have had breast reductions because they were so large that they couldn't find any foundation garments at all, and it was uncomfortable because they were older women. Yes, it was a very high-paying profession.
Well, why would you leave that and bleach your hair and wear short skirts and gold lame tops? Why?
Well, it all started really by accident. I was trying to work, and especially in the real estate field, I would wear my three-piece suit and have my briefcase and try to hide everything and button things up and put the binders on to look socially acceptable.
Binders?
Well, I just felt I wore the tightest bras I could find, just to flatten yourself out. So for one thing, so you could find a suit that would fit, because everything I have has to almost be custom made. And I know you're familiar with that too. And you would go into a bank, and I found out the bank managers and everything didn't want you sitting at their desk, even to work out financing for a client. It became very difficult because they were embarrassed to have you sitting there at their desk, because then the other bankers and the bank people and the personnel, they're laughing in the background, and you would become the joke in a town, especially from an area where it's small towns. And the cities are not very large.
So you'd be sitting there doing your job, and you hear nothing but snickers everywhere you go in the entire town. Her mother and her, am I using the wrong name?
Yes, the wrong name.
Chesty, sorry. I assume these are made-up names anyhow, forgive me if I'm off base.
Didn't give you that name?
Chesty said, my mother and my aunt were bigger than I was, but in our little town in the Midwest, in those days, 25 years ago, when they developed these breasts, they were so terrified that they quickly married the first person who asked them.
The first person that they met.
Why did they marry the first man?
And this gentleman here that mentioned how we started talking, and all of a sudden there's a personality and person behind the body.
What if
Yeah, but you're still, you're saying that.
And it's not all men.
Then
Really?
I just want to say, I think it's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
I had huge breasts. I just had a breast reduction. It's the greatest thing I ever did. Physically, I feel a zillion times better. I'm not objectified. I'm not two breasts no longer. It's like now people see me, they don't see this, and it's like, I feel emancipated. I sit here and listen to you, and you are all breasts. That's all we're looking at.
Breasts are not ugly.
Whose fault is beautiful?
What is wrong with
doesn't
breasts?
hurt your back. I mean, it's not like
We try very hard to
too bad.
You don't hate how people focus in on that, and that's
It doesn't happen too often because I don't
believe you.
I don't always dress like this.
I don't believe you. It's like
I don't.
People do focus on the breast in my case, and that's why I'm in the profession I'm in. That's why I left a...
But also,
Very true.
That's your opinion, and I respect you for that, in that there are a lot of women who can handle this. Those that can go into this
you are
profession.
being sexual objects, that's all I'm saying. You've chosen that.
Wait a minute.
I've chosen a profession that's a true business. And again, the industry has a bad name. A sexual object is what you're calling it. People don't realize what goes on behind the scenes.
What goes on? You're like promoting breasts.
You are a legal business with a business contract. You have an agency.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
my
a very
job.
good dancer. A lot of people
right.
oppose me.
If I can add something to that, she mentioned Canada.
Is their thing is fine. I don't knock them. They can do what they want. I don't find it for me because it gives that image. It gives the constant, you're all chest and nothing more than that.
And it makes it tough on other people. It makes it tough on those of us who don't want to be viewed like that.
Sir?
Any crap at all. I really don't. I won't.
Because I work part-time in a restaurant.
We dance like this.
Well,
I went to a school in Gates
everybody's
Mills,
different, you know.
And we all are different.
People, you know,
I did learn how to do
Question.
I'd like to know if all you have... My husband, I've been married for 7 years, and my husband, he's proud of me, and he's...
Hi, Golly. I was just wondering for the dancers, if you've ever given any thought to having kids, because, you know, when you get pregnant, your breast gets a bit larger, and if you're having problems now with bras, what's going to happen when you get pregnant?
If if I
Well, I
did.
think you've had it in
It
your
does.
family, so what do the women do?
Well, it would run in my family for sure. I said, so I would have to really think about, raising a daughter in that situation. If I had a daughter, I said, first of all, I have to form a relationship.
What about nursing, or you will have to...
Find someone to
I
marry.
couldn't
Yes,
nurse my
that would be the
children.
hard part,
So
finding
I
someone to
couldn't
marry.
nurse either one of my little girls.
You could not nurse?
No, my youngest one, she was only like 5 pounds when she was born. And I tried because I wanted to do that. I wanted to have that
So
bonding
here
with my
you
child.
walk
and
around a chest all
they
your
were-
life for nursing,
Right.
presumably.
And they were so large that it was real constrictive to try and get her down there and get her. And
It's also painful.
And very, yes, very.
I hear harassed me, would come to the nightclub when I very first started dancing, and the same men that harassed me on my job would laugh and tease and joke, and I was having affairs with them, and every story you can imagine. The very same men applauded me the next day after I did a wet t-shirt contest, which was the first thing I tried. I wanted to see if I could go on stage and not die, not be totally embarrassed. And I was covered. I had a t-shirt on. And the very same men the next day said, my God, how can you do it? They said, you were fabulous. You were wonderful. Why are you wasting your life with all you have? You could have a wonderful job, a wonderful career ahead of you. And they say you could get out of this rut because we know we know like you're having trouble with the bankers. We know you're